Coming to you live from off of 206 to the 609 and beyond. It's WTF with Tracy and friends. The most fun you can have on a Wednesday with your clothes on. And now our host, Tracy Brannigan.
Thank you, sir. What a great intro that was.
I think it was
that was really good.
That was awesome. Thank you.
You have a voice
I'm
for
glad.
radio.
I have a you tell people you have a face,
for radio.
too. Yes. That's how you be nasty to somebody from radio.
Got a real face for radio.
Yep.
Well, thank you for the amazing intro, and I hope we recorded that. I know you did record a segment, and Ruben is going to get that edited, so we'll have that. We can enjoy it every Wednesday.
Yes, and this evening we have the talents of super producer Ruben Rodriguez.
Of course, as always.
Yes.
Well, like you said it, you heard it here first. The most fun you can have with clothes on a Wednesday night. Today is Wednesday, January 24th, 2024. So 1/24/24, a momentous day, I might add, because 22 years ago tonight, Noah, my son, was born.
Oh my gosh,
Bravo.
I forgot it was his birthday.
So happy
birthday,
22nd
Noah.
birthday, buddy. Love you so much. Have fun tonight. Be good.
Happy birthday.
Or
Noah.
don't be. But
He
call
went
us
out.
if you need someone to drive you home.
Oh, he's up in New Brunswick.
Oh, then don't call me because I won't come to New Brunswick. But I will if you need me
He's
to.
at school. He's at Rutgers.
Oh, okay.
So they went out last night. $2 Tuesday. They're going out tonight.
Dang, I
you
miss
know.
those good times at Rutgers.
Yeah,
Well.
living his best life, 22. Yes, 19 harrowing hours of labor to deliver that boy.
Oh, ew.
Well
Yeah.
done.
Woof.
Yeah. But you know what? It was worth every minute.
He's a great kid.
He is.
He's good.
A
You know,
good
you
kid.
have all great kids, actually.
Aw, thank
do.
you. Thank
do.
you.
I like 'em all.
Youngest, I don't know. Jury's still out on that.
I have only met Cole, and I think Cole was always helpful at rehearsals.
I think I still owe
If I
him.
recollect correctly, I could be
You
off.
never met Noah?
I don't believe so.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure I still owe Cole a Mario Kart game and or competition.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I don't.
It was your birthday at the vineyard.
Oh, boy. That was.
We don't talk beyond that, but I promised Cole in the car ride home I would buy him Mario Kart.
You did? I am sure he forgot, because if he remembered, he would still ask me
He'd be
every
hounded.
day.
Why isn't
17 times,
Allison- why isn't
17
Allison
times
buying
a day.
I was like-
And I would just put him on the phone with you. So,
Anyway.
well, please
Cole,
welcome.
I hope Cole's not watching.
No, he's at basketball practice. But please welcome to WTF. Welcome back, Allie McBride. She's been on hiatus for a little bit. And then author and good friend of the show, Jason Marinko. We've got his books right here. We're going to get into that in a minute. What have you been up to since the last time that you were here? You were here in October.
October, yes.
So
yes.
what's been going on?
Well, I was the week before the book signing is when I joined Tracy for the first time, and I am so happy to see that I have gone from guest to special guest.
Special guest.
You're
And-
always a
And
special
that is
guest.
that's just me- that. Thank you, Ruben. That's
Always
just
a
wonderful.
special guest, and there's always a seat at this table for you.
I greatly appreciate it. And as
Anytime.
always, I appreciate you so much for having me on. You know, I talk to you just regular. That's how easy it is to speak with you, and
That's what
how
we're all about.
warm and inviting. But I had the book launch, the book signing afterwards that following weekend, and it was a lovely affair. We had it was at the Charleston Coffee House, and all of my closest friends came, and it was just it was very humbling and just wonderful to see, people that you've known, that, my
Heartwarming,
friends
right?
from grade school.
Yeah.
Just everyone coming out for that. And
No,
it
that's so
was just
great.
wonderful.
Everybody there to
And
support
Getting
you.
that support.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it really, like, even when you have friends who really aren't really into reading books like that. And I told my friend Mike, I said, seeing my book on the dashboard of your truck made me so happy. Like to see it in his work truck, like he's reading it I was like, that was just wonderful. And everybody being just so, you have wonderful people in your life when they encourage you like that.
Absolutely.
So thank
Heck
you for that.
yeah.
and thank
Nothing
you
but
again.
love and support, right? Like that's
Absolutely.
that means the world, right?
Yes. No, sir.
Well, it was a phenomenal book. It's Time the Avenger, right? That's what it's titled, Time the Avenger. What a great tale. It was so good. I wrote a review. It's on Amazon. You can
Yes.
buy it there. I highly urge you to pick it up. It's such a great read. I couldn't put it down. I read the book in
I remember you told
a
me,
day
like,
and a half.
literally, you said you stayed up all night reading
yeah,
it.
I stayed up until I fell asleep, and then as soon as I woke up, I had to continue. I had to get to the end of the story. It was really so great and a little bit nostalgic. It was just amazing. So, Allie, you have to read it next.
Yes, definitely.
Funny story, though. I gave it to Jen to read. She was reading it this past week, and she texts me. She says, quote, "What the hell were you eating whilst reading this book?" And then she's texting me pictures of, like,
Mess in the book.
fingerprints on all, like,
Oh,
so many
no.
pages, like, all mucked up with fingerprints. She's like, "What is this, Cheetos?" She's like, "Damn it, now I want Cheetos." I'm thinking,
Was that my fault though? Because if
No.
you remember, I signed the book.
well, yes. So it really, I
Okay.
guess it was your fault. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I'm like, what the hell is this? You autographed the front cover of the book and wrote a little passage on there in gold, some sort of gold pen, gold
Yes.
marker. Well, and I told you by the time I finished reading the book, everything was erased from the front. So I just thought it was on my blanket. I
fingerprinted
didn't
you.
realize it was all over my hands.
Oh,
So that's what the
no. Oh,
yellow, like,
The gold
crusty
yellow.
prints inside the book were.
Gosh, I hope you didn't
for the
sign all
marker.
the books that your book
No,
signing
and,
with that.
and that's another reason why I'm so thankful for Tracy, because I was on the show first and she had her signed copy and texted me this, and I knew that, see, right, authors or authors to be do not sign your books on the cover. Even if they're matted, you would think a glossy finish it wouldn't be bad, but it doesn't
Right.
hold on the mat unless you have certain pens.
So always sign it
so
on
just
the
go for
inside.
the inside and maybe initial the outside. That
So,
was
like, pro tip, right? Like,
absolutely.
you just
I
a pro
didn't know
tip right
till I
there.
knew.
Okay, so at least you knew before your big signing.
Yes,
right?
so
Okay,
everyone
good.
would have been fingerprinted. Thank you for.
And
for
no one would have had a signed
taking the hit
copy
for
of
the
your book
teachers.
anymore.
That's all right. No, I didn't even notice it on my hands. That's why I just was like, oh, it just disappeared. Like, it's
You were
probably all
that
over my blanket.
captivated by the story. That
I
you
really was. I was.
love
I'm
it.
telling
That's
you. And
great.
I'm the type of reader that 2-3 pages and I'm falling asleep. I'm like, it puts me right to sleep. But
I appreciate that. Thank you.
just couldn't put this book down. So check it out, guys. It's on Amazon. Pick it up. Time the Avengers. And then the other book, it's poems, poetry. What else is in there? Because I haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay. Starry Nightmares is, I initially wanted to make a short story for every month of the year. But it just didn't really work out that way. But they're seasonal short stories. And every night is not starry, every nightmare is not just a dream. These are all things that, could happen around the corner from us. That are things that
It's just a little bit more terrifying.
right. And yes, all reality-based horror. I don't really do the supernatural, and they are definitely, everybody has one that they pick out, and they're like this one and everything. And I also, before I forget, Tracy, thank you so very much for taking the time and putting the review on Amazon.
Oh, you're
I mean, I
welcome.
love anyone who takes the time to get my book and actually read the material. That's what it's for. I wrote it to be read, but it is critical in a sense that outside people besides those that know me, they're not
Right.
going to trust it unless someone else
Right.
endorses
No,
that.
it was like a real review. It's not
Yes.
just because I know you and you're my
Yes.
friend and, I wanted to give you a good review. Like,
I wouldn't want to, even if you
heartfelt.
don't like things, say that too. But say
Honest
something.
and heartfelt review.
Yes.
I am embarrassed, though, at how long it took me to compose the review. I'm not a
Yes.
writer.
Yes.
And trying to come up with the right words and what I wanted
glad
to
you mentioned
convey.
this.
It's not easy.
I'm so glad you mentioned this. My girlfriend's sister, Karen, also a reviewer. Thank you, Karen. She was initially hesitant as well. She said to me, I use reviews. I
Yeah.
don't
Yes.
leave reviews.
Yeah.
And I said, just put what you said in the text in the review. just 2-3 sentences.
Yeah.
It's not, no one's asking you to make a thesis here. Just, liked it, good book, fast read, didn't like this. That's all.
But it was a lot of pressure because
is
we
pressure, and
want
I'm
to
sorry for
do
that.
it justice. I'm sure she did too. Like I wanted to do the book justice, and just it's a good book. You can't put it down. Like that's not good enough. You have to you had to elaborate.
But to someone who is hesitant and goes, oh, maybe I'll get this. Well, I don't like books that take me a month to finish.
Right.
I want something
Right.
I can't put down.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because we use the review, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's true. I know. So thank you
You're
for that.
so very welcome. Thank you for writing such an entertaining book, and looking forward to the next one.
Did you get my email?
No, I did not.
Okay. You and the beautiful people that signed my email list at the signing, if you finish Time the Avenger, I sent you an email, and if you scroll to the bottom of it where the links are, the beginning of the sequel, Hunt the Avenger, is in there.
Oh
So,
boy,
yes, but there is more story
so
there.
exciting.
Not a lot, but just enough to get going here.
Okay, well, I'm pumped now. That's awesome.
We know
And
what Tracy's doing tonight.
I'm gonna go check my email.
Yeah.
Well, I've had email issues,
Yes, you have.
technological difficulties. I don't know what the hell is going on. My printer won't work anymore. It's not connected. All
not
of my
Bob's fault?
emails. No, you know what? He was like, you need to get your own damn printer. I can't share a printer with you anymore. We're like arguing about the ink. Like I'm in his office, like messing
So
with
one of
it.
you is connecting and it's dropping the other one when you're trying to connect to the printer? Is it like that?
I can't even connect to the printer anymore. I'm just like the network. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know. I don't know if I was hacked. My email was not connecting to the network. I lost 2 days. I have no emails from 2 days of work.
And they're all going to hit you at once when it goes right. You're going to get all the emails at once. Watch.
I actually was able to find them. They were going to my phone, so I was
Okay.
getting them through my phone, but not on my computer, which I didn't know. So I guess I did recover them all. But anyway, nightmare. I don't know what I'm doing as far as any sort
Technology
of
can be
technology.
disappointing.
It really is. But what do we do without it? I don't know.
Right. But something as simple as printing a document, you would have think that'd be no problem whatsoever. But I go through these same
There's
things.
either no ink, it's out of paper,
Can't
or
connect.
it won't connect. The margin's messed up. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. It's really gonna
It's
grind my
upsetting.
gears. It is.
Grinds
It
your
is.
gears, yeah.
So now I have to, get my own printer and figure out my own network. I need an IT guy. That's what I need. That intern.
There-
that intern. All right,
Call to action
interns.
right now,
We're
intern.
calling interns. All interns, please apply. You need to be proficient in technology. So I need IT support and then social media skills as well. So if you fit the bill, message us, please.
There you have it.
So anyway, moving
Intern
on.
wanted.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Allie, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm so happy
Gone
to be back.
for a minute.
I
Last
was.
time you were here was
A little over a month ago.
early December.
Yeah.
So did both of you have great holidays? How are your holidays? Happy holidays?
Status quo.
Status quo?
Yeah. I have a lot of, family things going on, but status
As we
quo.
all do, honey. As we all do.
Yeah.
So holidays, New Year's. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Either of you?
No.
The washing machine broke. And then we got sick and had to go to the hospital.
Oh
But at
God.
least it was the week before Christmas.
So
Oh, geez.
that's terrible. So the washing machine broke. Did you have to get a new one, or you fixed
got
it?
a wonderful new one,
Good.
which, and I don't know people doing a lot of wash or anything like that. I found something out.
What?
My girlfriend's uncle is our landlord, and he purchased the new unit for us. And he said, hook this thing up, and you connect the cold water line to it outside, and it's a filter. It's like a box.
Uh-huh.
And
Tell me more.
You put the hot water going back from the box on the outside. We have hard water, well water where we live. this has made such a difference in our wash. It has a filter inside it, like the filter we put in the
Oh,
shower.
it's like a softener.
Yes, you don't need to put laundry detergent, and you don't have to buy You don't need to use it ever again. We still use it because of the, we like the scent of the detergent and everything.
Yeah.
But you don't have to use as much. It's amazing.
Really?
And all you need to do,
Interesting.
I think it's called the Oxygen X or something. I was floored by it. I was like, no way this thing works. Like our clothes are going to be all junky.
Yeah.
Much better.
Did
So-
you get one of those like fancy, high-tech washers with all the bells and whistles? And
Well, I'd say 50% of the bells. It's not a dryer in reverse or anything like
bells.
that. Just enough that, it's much better. But the, I cannot, the name escapes me of this device. It's on YouTube. We watched a video of a family that used it, and they're like, you need to get out of the habit of pouring the laundry detergent in there. Because it's like flushing a toilet when you walk away from it. At first, you won't be able to not do it, but you do not need it. They said you could still put it in there if you like the
I
Tide
don't know
scent.
if I would be able to.
I just
Well,
how
we
does it?
still do, but we just don't need to as much.
As much,
And
okay.
and you just need to purchase this filter every couple months. It goes on the outside. So
Interesting.
something
That's cool.
negative
Note to
turned very
self.
positive.
Let me write that down.
Purex, Oxygen X. Why can't I think of the name?
Washer
Of
filter. We'll look into that. We had to get a new washer also. And I just wanted the most basic washer out there because I think the ones with all the computerized bells and whistles and it's just more stuff to break. And how many cycles really do you need?
Sure.
I just don't need all that. I use the same two things every
Right.
time.
Mine has like 8 different options, and I use the same one every time.
Every time. So we got the most basic one we could find, but it's still very automated. Like it has a sensor that
The
it
water
fills
level,
it. Yeah, the
yeah.
water level based on how much stuff you have in there. And like the lid locks once the cycle starts. I hate that because I'm always like,
Finding,
let me
like,
throw one more thing in. And not only that, but the guys, when they installed it, they crossed the water lines.
Oh,
So the hot water line was connected to the cold water line was connected to the hot. And we discovered this because
Did stuff shrink?
I think stuff may have shrunk, but
Oh, that's awful.
we kept running out of hot water. Like I would be in the shower and in a few minutes run out of hot water. Now, I've never run out of hot water. Had 5 people living in the house at one time.
Okay.
Lived there 23 years, never have run out of hot water.
Sure.
So I thought like there was a leak in the hot water heater. I didn't know what was going on, but it was every time I was in the shower. Like I would have, it was like a cold plunge. I'm like, I did not sign up for this.
Oh,
This is
no.
nonsense. And I don't know, but Bob figured it out somehow. But thank
That's
God.
what the duct tape was for.
Yeah. So I don't know how he arrived at that, conclusion, but I'm glad he figured that out.
Yeah, sure.
I have a question for you that was posed to me after your last podcast with me
Okay.
that I want to make sure I remember to tell you. You were talking about your experiences as a bartender, and you said that's how you met Bob, actually.
Yeah.
And I was told from viewers of the last show, why won't she write that book? That's a book I would like to read, right?
Oh.
Yes. And wouldn't it be the perfect, spoiler alert, but oh well, that you actually meet your husband later in the same job?
Yeah.
And you don't have to stay to the letter, like,
The scene of the crime.
right. But,
I've
but
got so many good stories.
there was much enthusiasm for that.
Tales from behind the bar.
Ooh.
I always called the one I would do the bartender diaries, but that's kind of used up the diaries of everything, the
Yeah.
basketball diaries, but I did want to tell you about that.
Oh,
that
that's
the folks were
interesting.
interested
Okay, so
in
you guys would
Tracy's
read
bartending
that.
tales. Yeah.
Oh, there's so many stories. Some so scandalous.
Right. And I think
Yeah.
I think you were very vague about that. Went, those, and then you
they're
were
the best
yes,
stories.
and that I think that's what sparked the interest there.
Oh, good
So,
to
yes.
All right, you just planted a little seed.
Yes.
Maybe for my. All right, I'm not a New Year's resolution kind of girl. Are you? Do you have
Not
like a New Year's
really.
resolution at all?
No, not really.
I'm not a New Year's resolution person because I really think that you don't need to wait till January 1 to say you want to do something or start something. But I did this last year. I sat down and wrote, I don't know, just some things I wanted to accomplish, and then I looked back on it right after New Year's, and I could not believe, like I would say about 90% of what I wrote down, I had accomplished.
Oh, that's great.
And
That feel great.
it really did, because I
bet.
never thought about that. And then, I mean, also, I was delusional with some of the things too. Like, just, I don't know. I guess my point is, like, dream big. And even if you don't do a New Year's resolution, it's not too late. Like, sit down right now, write in the back of your journal, like, list of things that you want to happen this year. And I don't know. I just think, like, putting it out there in the universe somehow does something to
Yeah, for sure.
make it happen. I don't know if it's subconscious or what, but I think everybody should do that. I haven't done it yet, so there's still time. Just sit down and make a list of like 20 things, and I mean, make them crazy.
Write a bunch of stories from when I bartended, perhaps.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's gonna go on it. I think I'm gonna start the book. I'll be an author too.
Yeah, why not? Why
You
not?
can do like Starry Nightmares, but bartending.
Nightmares.
Barry Nightmares.
Barry
Your
Nightmares.
scandalous bartender stories.
Scandalous
I
scandalous
would be
tales from
happy to
behind the
help
bar.
once you have your first draft
Thank
together.
you. Oh my
I would
gosh,
be happy to help.
absolutely. I will need to probably attend writers groups. You can help me with all that, and
Oh, you got me. That's
We'll
right.
see.
No, I'm like, yes, still attend the groups. I'm kidding. Well, if you
I
think about
trust
it,
you.
and I know you probably enjoy this program, and Allie maybe too, Sex in the City.
what a great show! Did you watch that? Right?
And those books are derived from her experiences
Yeah.
as a journalist, and she just kept, that's a diary that became what it became. So, you know,
I wish I wrote these stories down as they were happening.
they'll come back to you as you start
You're
to write.
right. They will
come back
like,
to you.
I could rattle off probably 10 of them right now, and then like if I really think. And it's funny, Bob and I, we just had our anniversary, our wedding anniversary, in the middle of January, and we went to the bar where we met. We went there like
For
for
the
dinner. It had
anniversary.
just reopened under
love
new
it.
ownership, and it was really cool to be in there. It looks completely different, but as different as it is, there's so much of it that's still the same.
Okay.
And a lot of the we saw so many people we knew in there. It was just such a fun night. Like we
That's
had,
so
we had us a
cool.
night in there. It was
Yeah.
a good
That's
time.
wonderful.
Revisiting the scene of the crime. But yeah, now I should definitely go back there for inspiration, and maybe,
Yeah.
like, all these stories will come back to me.
Sure, sure.
Love it.
Oh, great idea! All right, that's going.
This
in
is
the
your
book.
idea. I just brought it to you. Thank you, Antoinette.
Thank you,
Antoinette told me
Antoinette.
this. I said, tell her I would like to read that. Yes.
Oh, Antoinette,
Yeah, there you go.
for you, girl,
Yep.
for you. All right, well, I'll definitely start thinking about that.
With your New Year's resolution question, you know, they're always the same, but it is a good starting point. I agree with you where it's like, if you didn't do anything all year, what are you going to do now? But I said, I'm going to start doing my regular exercises at home. And from January to 1st to 6th, I did great. And then one of my coworkers got sick. And another one got sick, and I wiped down the desk that I had to work at the next day, did the door handles, did everything, and I felt like I got struck by lightning.
Oh no.
I couldn't do nothing, and I eventually, I thought it was just a cold. I knew I didn't have COVID. I did the test, and I went to the doctor, and he told me, I said, "Doctor, I use gloves every door handle I touch in the building, my work gloves." I said, "I don't do this. I wiped down the coworker that was sick. He said, "It does not matter." He said, "This is the most aggressive form of the common cold I've ever encountered since I've been practicing medicine."
Really?
And he is like a
Wow.
Jedi of urgent care doctoring, Dr. Giovanni.
Jedi of urgent caring.
No, he really,
I
this
love
man
that.
might see 55 people a day and get them all out of there in 5 hours. He talks fast. I told Michelle when she was sick in December, I said, I'm going to bring you in here. This man's going to come in here like a ball of fire. He is going to ask you very fast questions. Try to answer them as best as you can because he only has so much time he can
Rapid
take
fire.
with you. And he's go to the hospital, wrote a script. We went to the hospital, and that was flu.
Oh.
But in my
Flu.
case, I needed steroids and everything like that. So it kind of
Wow.
threw off the new year for me.
Yeah,
it really
starting
kicked your
off on
ass.
the wrong track.
You
Talking
know?
about
Yes.
I believe that though. So many people have been sick, and it's been
And
an
it
illness.
lingers,
Yes,
too.
lingers for like
Too
weeks
long,
and
yes.
months, and then like they start to feel better, and then they're sick again. So was Michelle admitted to the hospital? Did she have to
We
serve time
we
there?
went to the hospital that I had to go to last Labor Day when I thought I was like dying, but it turns out I was just having a panic attack out of nowhere, which I'd never had. 45 years old, just developed
goodness.
this.
They are.
Sure.
Abrupt.
And we looked at the reviews of the hospital, and she goes, "Oh, it's got bad reviews." I said, "Who the fuck gives a hospital a good review?"
Right.
You know, like people, like you fix them up, they forget about you. You leave.
Right,
I
right.
gave the hospital a good review because they were good. But we went back to the hospital I went to. But we went Labor Day weekend. We were there 4 hours. There was a lot of injured people in there, and I was just, I don't know, panicking. I don't know what's wrong with me. So I got seen later, but with the urgent care doctor's prescription note at the front desk, he wrote, "This girl needs to be seen immediately." They took her, and they put her on the bag of it. But that was flu. In my case, it was just very bad cold.
How long did you have it? Was it weeks? Like everybody?
It kicked in on a Thursday night. I woke up that Friday like I was going to work and went, "Well, that ain't gonna happen. I'm just gonna get the other guys sick that are coming back."
Yeah.
So Friday, Saturday, death on Saturday. Coughing so hard my ribs hurt.
Yeah.
That's some
awful.
serious coughing. And it was like a bad storm, so I had to have Uber Eats go to CVS to get me cough syrup.
Oh no, you did.
Yeah, well, things are far in the country. where
I
live.
know you're out in the sticks.
And
huh?
here's the thing with that. They will go to CVS for you, but they're not getting banging NyQuil or Robitussin or nothing.
Right,
Because you
right.
need like a license to
Yeah,
get
they're
it.
not going to get the pharmacy stuff. Yeah.
I got like hippie Robitussin with like honey in it. Like it was like it suppressed the cough.
Natural homeopathic.
Yeah, all
medicine.
natural. Yeah, don't do it. It's not worth it. The natural. So, so Saturday death, Sunday pretty much worse, and I am just trying to flush my system because that's my mind state when I get sick. I must piss this all out.
I gotta
need
piss it out.
pictures
That's great.
of detox tea, of ginger tea, frickin' what was the other one? Green tea.
Green
all
tea,
of them.
yeah.
And I just think how sick I would have felt if I wasn't even doing that. And then Monday, that's when I'm like, urgent care. This has gone on too long.
Yeah.
This a cold 2-3 days. This is ridiculous. But that's what kicked the ass of the New Year's resolution. It's not an
man.
excuse. It's just a derailment.
Ginger ale. I swear by ginger ale. It always makes me feel better. I don't know why. I don't know, but it does. But all right. So in the back of your planner, by the way, look at this man's planner. Can you please hold this up?
This is
Look at this. It's a manual for life right here.
where I write down all the stuff I do at work
Like,
for when I ask for more.
look at that. Right? You're like, I have done X, Y, Z, and that's what you need to do. Write it all down.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sick vacation.
So right in the back, write your like 10, 20 like crazy things, anything you wish for the year. Do it, and then revisit it at the end of this year.
Like a vision board that you could
and
reflect
you are
upon
really,
thereafter.
and then call me and tell me how much of it happened.
Yeah.
I need to know. That's everybody's homework. That's your homework for.
If I
this
could just
week.
piggyback onto what you said there.
Please do.
There were 2 books that were so helpful to me in writing these books. And one of them is On Writing by Stephen King, which it's just self-explanatory. It's Stephen King. He talks to you about his life and he talks about writing. It's wonderful. Even people that don't like his genre love these books. And the other one is the Screenwriter's Workbook by deceased Sid Field, but the advice is invaluable. And in that, he said people knowing that he is in the filmmaking industry and screenwriting would often come up to him and say, "I've got a movie about a guy with a dog who go on an adventure." And he said, "My consistent reply is, you do not have a movie. You have the idea of a movie." And he constantly refers back to this in the book where he says the art is in the doing of it. The follow through has to be there. You have to start with it to
the
get to it.
follow-through.
It's like the Martin Luther King, right? You don't need to see the whole staircase, but you got to take the first step. So the art being in the doing of it is really took a moment of like me saying to myself, like, all right, well, like start it, start it as a screenplay. And it is. It's a 3-part screenplay. If you read it,
Yes.
you know it's in 3
Uh-huh.
acts. and started as a screenplay. And without an agent, where am I going with the screenplay? So what did I write this for? Well, now I'll just write it as a book. And, you'll be surprised how far it'll take you.
So, all right. So your professional advice, where do I start? What's the first thing I should do?
Shall we begin like David Copperfield? I am born. The beginning.
Yes.
You need a whole other podcast for that.
Like, do I just start collecting my stories? Do I imagine a format first? Where do I begin?
I can give you an example. One day, Michelle and I were having an argument of sorts, so I went outside to cut the grass. This is when I lived in Hamilton. I had my laptop out there. I cut half the grass, but I was so mad. I sit up and I open my laptop. And one of my favorite comedians, Bill Burr, when we went to see him, he said he was worried about having a kid. He said he'd put his kid on top of the car in the carrier. And he says, I'm the kind of person I'll sit there and go, why didn't I tell my third grade math teacher to fuck off? And he said, I'll leave the kid up there. And that's what happened. I cut half the grass and I started getting mad about people that pissed me off when I worked a fast food job. So I start writing, typing. These chicken-eating motherfuckers and their 50% off coupons. These fuckers. And as I'm writing, I'm getting madder. And I'm seeing the Fixins bar, and I'm smelling the nuggets.
You can smell it.
You will smell it if you get into it.
Wow.
And in that instance, what brought me back there was, you could always remember something negative faster than you can something positive. Was just being at that counter at the Roy Rogers with the rotisserie chicken, the greasy bird dripping there, and to this day I get nauseated from a rotisserie chicken. I can't even look at one.
Really?
And I listened to this great podcast. It was with the most successful modern day bank robber.
Okay.
And he took you through, and he says you will get to that point where you have walked in the bank for the first time and there is a feeling, he says your adrenaline is so overwhelming that you can't even walk much, let alone keep your hands together to drive a car. He says take a roller coaster ride and amplify it by 1,000 times. That's robbing a bank. Now you walk into the bank and he says you will have this personal moment with yourself of, holy shit, are we really doing this?
Doing this.
He
Wow.
says, and then you do it. He said, and then you're sitting in your car. And you got all that money on the passenger side.
Oh, my goodness.
And you're going. So as I hear this man talking, he is back there. And he says what got him through was something he referred to as summoning the rage. Okay? So the rage will always put me in time and place, just like these. You know the parts I mean.
Yeah,
right?
sure do.
So, that'll put it for you. But if you just start on something simple. Start on what you do remember, and then you'll add to it. And you'll be really surprised. It was amazing when it was happening to me about the chicken. So I promise you. And even if it's for your own purposes and you want to reflect on something that it could be a love that you had that you have a few lines in a journal or a notebook. And then if you start to write some more, you'll say like, oh, and then, that's when we went to the photo booth in the mall.
And then
When before you know it, you're going to smell the cookie place in the mall. And it'll come back to you. It will, So
right,
that's what I'd say for the bartender.
All right, so just
stories.
start it.
Yes.
All right, well, I am going to take your advice, and I'm going to start the book. I don't know when, but it's on the list.
Start wherever you think is the best starting point.
On the list.
George Lucas starts Star Wars in the 4th movie because he thought that was the best story to market. It's the 4th story. That's why we call it Star Wars 4: A New Hope. Because he didn't think he could, do the other 3.
Now, how many are there? Like, there are
8. If you count the Rogue One, which is probably one of the best ones.
I never saw it. I've not seen it yet.
See the Rogue One.
It's
more
too
like
many.
like an army movie than a Star Wars movie. Even. Yeah, it's a really good action movie.
And then the series. There's like the whole.
Yeah,
The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
and
the
all that.
Mandalorian.
we dropped out after a while. It's kind of just
Too much.
too much identity politics is ruining the great material that is already
Yeah.
there. The same thing with the superhero movies. South Park did a great thing, Enter the Panderverse, where Cartman takes on the role of a Disney executive, and he's like,
Oh,
you know,
man, that's
no, this ain't going. Put a chick in it, make it gay. Like he wanted to make everything gay
Yeah.
and a woman in the lead role, and that was his answer to everything.
South Park.
Oh, they kicked ass on
It's
this one.
such a great show. I forget how good it is.
Yeah.
Like I'll catch it every now and then. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't believe this is on TV, and like they're still on.
Still
and
going
they
strong.
They're
Unreal.
unbelievable.
Yeah. And you know something South Park does, and I believe in On Writing, Stephen King even alludes to this, where it says, at a certain point, assume the intelligence of your audience, and don't just think you're gonna spoon feed everything you want.
Yeah.
One of my favorite influences is Rod Serling from The Twilight Zone. And Rod Serling was a person who was very much against bigotry, prejudices, everything like that. But Rod Serling in those days was able to make a program in less than 30 minutes that tackled all those things and gave you a hell of a story in The Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
That was brilliant and effective. Instead of just saying, these white people over here suck in this area. Like, what? Wait.
Wait, what?
I went to see that new Batman movie, and never in my life, I am a huge Batman fan.
Yeah.
Never in my life have I just been like, is this thing almost over?
Oh wow.
I was. Half hour in, I'm in Gotham City. I'm with Batman. I'm with Catwoman. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And the Riddler's a serial killer in this one, which, okay, fine. I was with it. It was trying to be just like the movie Seven, which is a wonderful movie with Brad Pitt and
Yep,
Morgan Freeman.
good movie.
But this ain't Seven. And and at a certain point, the Catwoman appeals to the Batman by going, "Why do you care? It's just these privileged white assholes that are getting killed." And I'm just like, I'm out of Gotham City.
Just
I'm
like
in
that.
the news
Yeah.
with nonsense,
Yeah.
and you
Checks
killed
out.
it. Even ruined Batman. So yeah, that's
Womp womp.
that's what happens with the censorship, though, and that's why I made sure I did not censor myself in anything I write.
No,
If anything,
great.
it make it go a little harder, and that's okay, because the real people appreciate that.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. Good reading. Well, I can't even remember the last movie I saw in the movie theater. I really.
Allie?
Oh, I just went. Oh. Why can't I think of it? Oh,
You went recently.
recently I
Okay.
went and saw Elf again in the movie theater.
The reissue of The Elf.
yes.
It's always nice holidays
It's my
when they put
favorite
them back.
movie in the
How
entire
many
world.
25
Okay.
years?
Hands down. 20 years.
20 years.
20 years for
Because
The
it was
Elf.
2003, yeah.
Okay.
And then I took my nieces to see Trolls. I haven't seen anything spectacular.
Well, no,
Okay.
we did see Taylor Swift, the Taylor
Oh,
Swift
yes,
movie.
the
We did
Taylor
go
Swift.
to see that. It was amazing.
Was everyone just singing along like it was said? Like it was
Yeah,
pretty much
yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. I
My
gotta
buddy
say.
Angelo and I went to the Straight Outta Compton movie, and it was like a movie in between a sing along.
Yeah.
Everyone there knows the NWA songs, and everybody's
Right.
just singing along with
Yep.
it, which is incredible.
Yeah.
But that must have been, like, I'll tell you, it was so brilliant of her.
Yeah, it was. And I
All
think
these
you're going
people-
to see so many artists do this now. Like, it's going to be
Right.
normal.
All these people already wanted to see you in concert in
Yeah.
person. Why wouldn't you put a movie of the
Yeah.
concert for the people that weren't able to, and for the people, like, if I went, I'd probably go see the concert I went to in the movies, right?
Yep.
And it was, she went outside of the movie studios. The studios said, we'll pay you X amount of dollars. And she said, no, I think I'll just deal with the theaters themselves.
Yeah, she's
Made a
amazing.
killing. Made a
She's
killing on it.
She
Yeah.
does everything right.
Yeah, because it wasn't available. I don't know if it was available at every movie theater.
Like a special engagement
I
type
think
thing.
so.
Right, I guess-
I know Elf
yeah.
was not available at like either it wasn't available at Regal or AMC.
Right,
one of the
right,
two.
right, one of
It
them.
was
Okay.
only available at one of the brands of movie theaters.
I love when they reissue the classic movies in the theater so you could see them in the theater. It's
Elf is
wonderful.
literally hands down my favorite movie in the entire world.
You do.
And
love
you were
it,
able to,
yeah.
did you see it in the theater when it came out?
No,
Which was
no,
wonderful
'cause
when
I
you
was-
got to see it.
I
yes.
wasn't. Yeah, no.
Yes, no, it's nice. It is. We went to I surprised Michelle. Her favorite movie is Jaws. So this is
Great
when the
movie.
AMC 24 is around the corner from my work. And I pick her up and she's like, what are you pulling into the movie theater? And they do those on like Wednesday nights
Yeah,
at only like
yeah.
2 showings.
Yeah.
And it was the 40th anniversary of Jaws. And it was a great experience for me because I see Jaws on a television set for the first time.
then
And when
seeing it on
you
the-
see Jaws in the theater and when they see the shark for the first time and he's like, that's a 30-footer. And he's like, well, you know.
I need a bigger boat.
it
Yeah, we're gonna need
the-
a bigger boat.
It fills up the screen.
Yeah.
As it should.
Yeah.
We saw the 30th anniversary of Goodfellas at the Princeton Garden Theater.
Really?
fun.
Never saw Goodfellas in the movies before that.
I
It was
would
wonderful.
love to see Goodfellas in the movie.
Yeah, well, the 40th probably
Quoting
coming.
every line.
I've
Oh
never
my
seen.
God.
I've never seen Goodfellas
What?
at all,
You have to be kidding me.
Oh, Hallie.
or Taxi Driver.
Well, yeah, I mean, Taxi
But
Drivers.
Goodfellas, it's on
I haven't
all
seen
the
it.
time.
I watch it every year when I decorate the Christmas tree. It's my
Oh,
tradition.
All right,
It's
well,
on. I mean, every.
we used to own
weekend,
it
I
on
feel like it's
DVD.
on.
It just wasn't my cup of tea. I never watched it.
Yeah,
Oh,
but you've got to see it
man.
in order as it goes. I actually make this argument because you'll see a lot of people say Goodfellas is the best mob movie ever. Like, sure, right?
Goodfellas or Godfather?
Goodfellas.
Yeah.
But
haven't
I
seen
would
Godfather
I would
either.
take that through the test of
Right on.
time. I would say that Goodfellas might be the best movie ever, and my reasoning for that is I don't think I've rewatched any movie more than Goodfellas.
Exactly.
I think and Francis Ford Coppola, the director of The Godfather, he says this. To me, a great movie is a movie that stands the test of time. I think Goodfellas has exceeded that.
You mean
I
like Elf?
couldn't agree more.
Well,
No,
as
like
far
the
as a
same
holiday
thing.
movie, it might get to that point, you know.
Yeah.
But
A movie that you could just watch over and over and over. It never gets old.
Yeah.
It's always good. You know the next line coming up.
the
like
music flows from scene
the
to scene.
soundtrack from that movie alone.
All right, I'm gonna have to like search it up on my
And then on
my
a future
TV.
episode, you'll have to do Allie's reaction to
Yeah.
Goodfellas.
All right, I'm gonna try to watch it.
You'll
we
have
should
some
make a
kind of
whole
reaction.
night out of it. Like a whole, like we're gonna do a whole night, a mob theme night.
Cool.
Oh, see that?
How
You know, I love a theme.
how intense are we going?
I mean, go big or go home.
Okay.
We're going like
She's
full.
gonna start all the best
Like-
ones.
Yeah, no, definitely Goodfellas.
Oh man,
I'm so excited for this now. All right, Goodfellas
Can't
theme
wait.
night.
I love
Yeah,
it.
Excited.
you got a plan. Put that
Love
for the
it.
New Year's resolution.
Should we do our? Do you have anything else, or should we do our?
Oh, are we at that point already?
We can do that. Yeah.
Or
While
do you,
we're
no, do you have anything else?
well, I wanted to talk WTF with the football. Like,
Oh, with the
we
football.
have. You weren't here, so we could not introduce our champion of the WTF Fantasy Football League. What was your team's name? I forget.
Oh, you're gonna make me say it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it.
Oh, it's
My
a bad name.
my team name was Ligma Dicker.
Oh,
Like Dicker.
fresh, Allie. Very
That was a little
fresh.
fresh.
Very creative. Very creative.
But I
Um,
mean, so I think I only got first place because, as you explained, I won the playoffs. But Tracy actually got more points than I did overall. But I won the playoff games.
by 1
By
point.
1 point. I
By
won the playoff
1
game by 1
point
point.
she won.
Wow, it came down to the
Yeah.
wire.
It
1
did.
point.
Well, you know, the win is the win. That's why they
and
play
that's
the games.
it. We didn't
The
play
win
for
is
money.
win.
We played
Yep.
for nothing.
What's the prize? Oh, that's right. There is no prize.
Bragging
Tell them why.
rights.
Tell them why. There's no prize for the winner.
Because I was projected to come in last place.
So when we started the league, she was projected to come in last place, and she was like, I'm not betting for money. No, like I'm gonna come in last, and I don't want to bet for money. Like, no, we're not. I'm
Refusing
not
based
doing
on
it.
projection, but still
She
played.
did.
But then still played.
Still played. Not only still played, but won.
But won the whole league.
So
We
you
should
get
have played for
nothing.
money.
You get nothing. Good day, sir.
Yikes.
I'll buy you a drink.
No, you don't have to pay.
I'll buy you. I'll buy you a drink.
Now I used to have a wonderful friend, and you would bet football with him, and it was the greatest thing. When I won, that's what he would say to me. Hey, I'll buy you a few drinks when we go out.
Ah,
I
but-
like, no, I
but
wouldn't pay
some
you. He's
people
like,
get
what?
money.
You're gonna drink that much tonight. Trust me.
Some people get like really, really into it. Like I knew this group of friends who did it, and whoever
Get you a
won,
drink. I love that.
like I think like whoever lost had to take them all out to a really nice dinner and drinks afterwards.
Oh yeah, a lot of people
That's nice.
go
Yeah, that's
crazy.
good.
I mean, but like they would go to like a really nice dinner.
And you know, there's a spite factor too, ordering that second dessert or something or other. But no, that's a nice
Special.
friendly wager.
Special with no price.
yeah.
But
Never know what it's gonna
the
be.
market price lobster.
Yes,
please.
that's always a good choice.
that's an ouch.
When
yeah.
you're not paying, right? You
Yes.
get the market priced special.
Something I really want to talk about
Yes.
in football. Have you heard about the NFL like conspiracy theory
Which one?
Oh, yeah, which one?
about the logo, about the Super Bowl logo, how the whole thing is fixed, and they know
The
who the
logo's
winner.
fixed?
They know who the winner of the Super Bowl is going to be, and it's in the logo. So they come out with the logo at the beginning of the year, and the colors. If you go back the last several years, the colors are the teams that have been in the Super Bowl. And not only that, but the like last year, Eagles and the Chiefs, the logo was green and red. And the majority of the logo had red. So Kansas City won. The year before that, who was it? Blue and yellow. I don't remember who they were, but so now this year, the logo dropped. The colors are purple and red.
So I think it's gonna be the
Ravens,
Chiefs.
49ers.
Right. Ravens, 49ers.
Are the Chiefs
Don't
out
tell
now?
those excited people in Detroit that they have so much to look
I
forward to.
I really want the
don't
Lions.
you-
Like,
it's
I'm
just
rooting
like,
for the Lions.
You see these stories. This man's like, I buried my father 5 years ago. He wanted to be buried in his line shack. Like, how can you not want those people to win?
Well-
Unless you like one of the other teams, of course. But yeah, I like Detroit to finish out. If
I'm a
that's- that
Jets
would be-
fan. We never get this far.
I'm
so
always
I'm
a
always
dark
out.
horse kind of
I
person.
do. I love the underdog. Absolutely.
I just wanted to say my Christmas was wonderful. It was amazing. The Raiders beating the Chiefs on Christmas Day was
That was
just
your favorite
tremendous.
Christmas present?
When our cornerback intercepted that pass and looked at Patrick Mahomes the whole way as he was doing it, they cut,
Oh, it was a
they
good
cut
play.
from the television camera. He walked around and went like he was going to give the football to a kid, and they said, "There's no way Jack Jones just grinched this Kansas City," and he pulled the
gosh.
ball away. And it was tremendous. It was the Raiders are the Raiders again. I am so excited for the next
best
season
present you
going
coulda
in.
asked for?
Yeah, it was just tremendous because they were 10-point underdogs, and you know, and it was just wonderful. And afterwards, Travis Kelce said on his podcast with the brother, you know, we gift wrapped that and we gave them that game. And one of the Raiders said, they said, you know, he said that, you know, they didn't play their best and gave you the game. He said, you tell him he should watch that game. I was like, beautiful.
Dang. I do
Beautiful.
love their podcast.
Obsessed
though.
with New
I'm
Heights.
obsessed
Oh,
with New
the
Heights.
brother is
Great,
wonderful.
yeah.
Did you see him all fired up in the press box?
Yes.
Jumping
Yeah,
out
wait,
there?
I love the videos of him casually shirtless drinking a beer, standing
Yeah.
behind Taylor Swift, like no big deal.
Well, you know, it was wonderful what he did because, I mean, you know, a lot of these young girls, they have no interest in the football game whatsoever,
Right.
and they're truly going to the game. And he's picking up these little girls so they can hold their sign so she can see
Yeah.
it. And they're grinning from ear to
Well,
ear.
because
Tracy.
he's
It's really
the
wonderful.
dad.
Yeah.
Like
A
I
girl
said-
dad.
Yeah.
I
He's
said
a
this
girl
the other
dad.
day.
Yes.
I forget who I was saying it to. I was like, Travis Kelce's like the hot one you mess around with, but Jason Kelce's the one that you marry. He's like the marriage
Interesting
dad
perspective.
material.
How about
That man is a national treasure, Jason
Jason
Kelce.
Yeah, no,
Kelce
it's just a
had
wonderful
The best
gift,
yes.
Eagle of all time. He will go down in history for sure as
Brian
the best
Dawkins.
Eagle. No way. No way.
Brian
Oh,
Weapon
no,
X
not a
Dawkins
chance.
is the best Eagle ever.
Well, we can debate that, but,
Yes, but
I don't know.
there is
Just
no
I'm
best Eagle.
obsessed with
Sorry,
the whole Kelsey family. Like as far as I'm concerned, they are America's royalty. America's
Yeah.
royal family.
Well, we never had our own
Let's
royal.
let's
That's
just
why wealth has to
say it.
dictate royalty in America. You ever see the show The Gilded Age on HBO?
Yeah.
No.
Very good show. Like, do you see like what that is?
I've only seen little bits here and there, but yes, I get the concept.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta write that down too. The Gilded
Oh, I got a couple for
Age.
you, Trace. Sopranos 25th anniversary. I don't know if they're putting extra stuff in.
I'm gonna rewatch it.
You're gonna
I
do a
already
rewatch.
said I am rewatching The Sopranos.
Isn't it incredible how you always come away with a different perspective from watching it, like from where you were the last time?
Absolutely,
You
absolutely.
know, it's great.
I'm really looking forward to rewatching that.
When I was sick to death, I did
Sick
I
to
did
death.
salvage some time watching Yellowstone.
Yes,
Did you like it? What'd you think?
I love Obsessed with Yellowstone.
It is the kind of show that pulls you in. you
So,
would think it's not your thing.
Do you watch Succession?
Love Succession.
Love Succession. Yellowstone is the rancher cowboy version of Succession.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you why you should watch The Godfather.
Ah!
Logan Roy in Succession is Don Corleone. All of these arcs of these family stories,
Yeah.
like John Dutton in Yellowstone. I see Don Corleone in all of them. We have Casey in Yellowstone, the son who is the war hero that comes back and has all the problems. All of these things are ever present in The Godfather and these other stories, which are all wonderful. I mean, it's great storytelling in its own way, but I see a lot of, David Chase, the creator of The Sopranos, always says The Godfather was his Bible of how he would portray that modern story in that time. But the Yellowstone Succession was wonderful.
I think Kieran Culkin earned every single award he won during award season.
Such
for his
great
role.
drama created in a show where people don't normally die, right? It's hard to ratchet up the
literally. I don't
tension
think anyone.
that way.
I don't think anyone died except the one big one. But
Don't spoil it for me.
No
I
spoiling,
haven't
but,
seen
like-
either of them yet.
But
so.
Succession is it's very business. It's like business family.
Yeah.
Like
You
so-
would not think you would like. I would
it's
venture
not
to. I
like-
never did like
It
any
would
of
not
them.
have been my cup of tea. But then I watched it and I was like, I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah.
It was so good. The characters and the character developments and character arcs are so captivating in Succession.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely
Captivating, huh?
it-
All
no,
right.
it really
Well,
is.
I got a
anyone
lot
who
of.
watches Succession has this. I don't think I've
It
heard a
pulls you in.
bad thing about Succession from anybody.
Yeah, except that they're all horrible people. that you
Horrible
would
people.
not-
They're all the
would not.
worst.
But you pick your favorite lesser of the evils of them. You're like, well,
And then at one point
I
you have
like
to,
him
like-
out of all them.
I don't know about
Right.
you, but then at one point I sat with my siblings and I'm like, all right, so which one are you?
Oh,
Which one
you
am I? And then
did?
it's like
And then
almost
you
like you
know you
don't
like a
want to
show.
admit it because
Yes.
you're because they're all awful, terrible people. So if you're like, yeah, I'm Siobhan, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to be here.
But you would be the
But then
Siobhan
I'm kind
if
of
you had to
but
be.
I'm also kind of Kendall, and I was like, no one wants to be, what's his, Roman. I'm like, no one ever wants to be Roman.
I'd rather be Roman than
You would
Kendall.
rather be Roman?
Kendall says some of the most horrible things at the worst times at all times.
Yeah.
You'll know.
Yeah, but Roman is royal.
Like you think these people are supposed to learn business acumen? This man is a nightmare.
I
Anyways,
can't.
just
I
bring the
can't
Succession
wait. I
podcast.
can't wait to start watching Succession. What is it on? Where can I find it?
HBO.
Yes. Now, what about podcasts, Tracy? What do you like in the world of podcasts?
New Heights. Love that.
Okay.
Murder.
Yeah. And This Is Why We Drink is the other one. It's
Okay.
a,
This is why we drink. That's a good one.
yeah, that's a true
True crime.
crime / paranormal podcast. Love that.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah,
How about
I'm
you?
a crime junkie. Morbid. I like to fall asleep to Dateline.
Always thinking about murder.
Falling asleep to the murder shows. They make you thrash in your
Probably
sleep,
make me a little
What
bit
about
of a
you?
sleep-
Podcast.
Podcast. The podcast that got me through the entire writing of Time the Avenger is Bill Burr's Monday Morning Podcast. I have him as like an ever-present voice in the back of my head. I
Is
love
that
Bill
your
Burr.
narrator in your mind?
For my 40th
Bob loves Bill Burr.
for my 40th, Michelle and my friend Pete, they got me tickets to go see Burr live, and I'd never seen a comedian ever.
Oh,
And
no
it was,
way.
we saw him in Atlantic City. It was, and his act was completely different than his everyday. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm listening to him every week,
Yeah,
two
yeah.
times a week. So Bill Burr Monday Morning Podcast, another one I love. These girls are so much fun. It's called Unwaxed with Sophia and Sistine Stallone. And they're the daughters of Sylvester Stallone. When they refer to their father, they call him Sly. They're a blast. They're from California. They moved to New York, and they tell you about their adventures.
That's
And,
fun.
It is, and very insightful. And another one, your cousin Janine recommended to me that I love, and this is for people with acting ambitions. Wendy Elaine Wright, the Hollywood talent manager. Just wonderful insight for
Interesting.
people in acting and anything like that. Just, of course, the Joe Rogan. Now you mentioned
Joe Rogan. Yeah, no,
So
I do
good.
like that. Yeah.
Joe Rogan just had the creator of Yellowstone on last week, Taylor Sheridan. And that was really good. I wish I could see the
Shows
whole
are so
episode.
long though. Sometimes.
Well, I
Sorry.
only get the
I
clips
can't
on
get on
YouTube
board with
because
Joe
you have to have
Rogan.
Spotify.
You can't get on board.
Nah.
Well,
can't.
he has even if you didn't like Joe Rogan, he has some of the best guests
Yeah,
you could
he's
possibly
got.
have.
He,
And
and
if they're good, he lets them go.
that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
sometimes the interviews are so long, but I think he's a good interviewer. Like I think he asks great questions, and that's captivating at times.
This is for you. The Murder of Marilyn Monroe. It's so good. It's
Okay.
a 4-part podcast, all different voice testimonials.
I'm in.
You'll
I'm
be
in
like
on
me
that.
looking up Marilyn's house to see if anybody could have climbed in the balcony when she
Yes.
died. And one other one that I absolutely love, and this, you were talking about meditation on your last show. Do you remember Maria Menounos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
Maria-
host?
Extra.
Yeah,
Yes,
extra.
yes. You would go to the movies. Maria Menounos would set you up before the movie went on. Maria Menounos was on the Unwaxed podcast, and she was so wonderful that I found she has her own show called Heal Squad. Heal Squad with Maria Menounos, and she talks about, she's survived many life-threatening cancers and had a tumor and still was able to have her baby. It's like if you need inspiration or something uplifting or something about meditation, everything that, goes against being hard human is this show. Like,
Oh, cool.
I'm at work, so I'm popping all of these on as I'm
Yeah.
working, and these are just good. But it's really wonderful, and such a wonderful down-to-earth person she is. You wouldn't believe it.
I
Like,
should definitely listen to
Yeah.
more podcasts during my work day.
I love
I'm like,
podcasts.
I'm in silence most of
Not
the day.
even during the workday, but like my car rides now, only I don't ever listen to music anymore. It's only podcasts.
how about that?
Only.
You're not the. I had a friend that does D&D,
Mm-hmm.
and she said that the D&D podcasts have overtaken music. She's like, if
Oh,
I really
really?
want to listen to music, but the Dungeons and Dragons
I get
is her
it.
thing, and she said
Both
that's.
of my brothers do D&D, so I get that.
So
but
I guess it's like strategies and everything.
yeah, no, that's
that
awesome.
they
No,
put.
I love podcasts. Like sometimes when there's music on, I'm like, I don't like. I was like,
Like
no, I
the
have to
song isn't your vibe,
Yeah,
or
like,
like,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
podcasts.
no, yeah.
Or I've
Incredible.
even started doing like audiobooks in the car now. I'd rather that than a podcast.
I
mean, not a
do-
podcast, music now. At
Do
this
love an
point.
audiobook.
Which I need to get it, but that's next.
Yes,
that's
next.
Yes,
Audiobook,
but
yes.
Audiobook. One quick thing. I mean, I believe we're going to catch up next week too.
Yeah, you're back next week.
Okay. Well, before I forget, I will be at the New Egypt Market Fire and Ice Festival, February 3rd and 4th. It's going to be a wonderful time. They're going to have ice sculptures there.
Oh, so
They're going to have
fun.
wolves from Howlingwood Farms in Cream Ridge, New Egypt. We've been there before. These wolf dogs are wonderful.
Yeah.
They're going to have all kinds of events there. So come on out, pet a wolf, buy a book, sign a book.
Yeah, why not?
I wonder if so my brother is a police officer in Plumstead, so
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe he'll be around those areas.
Very close to those areas.
him
Yeah.
if he-
Fire Ice Festival. That
Yeah,
sounds cool.
it's-
February 3rd.
Yes, and there's all kind of vendors and shops and everything.
Nice.
It's if you've never been to the New Egypt Marketplace, it's a really unique experience. A couple times a year they have a night market where they put all the lights out, and these are individual shops with the vendors' stuff and
Yeah.
craft and everything in
Yeah.
there. Just wonderful, cool stuff. So I'm excited to be going there, but that will be next Saturday.
I have to check that out. I don't think I have anything going on.
Fire and ice.
Interesting.
Oh,
You
axe throwing! They're gonna have axe throwing there. Yeah, it's like a whole cage where if you want to throw an axe, you throw an axe in there.
just triggered a memory of my dream last
See?
night with this wolf. I had a dream that, I don't know, there was a rat in my closet, and it was like I was trying to shoo it away with a hanger, and it was coming towards me, and it latched onto my hand, and it bit me. And then the rat turned into like
What?
a wolf of some sort, and it was like,
How about that?
like
You should Google it.
that's so weird.
People have pets as rats.
Yeah.
Ew.
And every night when I worked at the pet crematorium at Pet Meadow, when I would have a rat to cremate,
Really?
well, when you cut the body bag open, you don't know what you're getting in there until you look at the ticket information. So I'd cut the body bag open, and I go, oh, and I'd look at him, and I'd say, somebody loved you. I'd put him in the flame, close the oven, and say, always a good day when we burn a rat, boys. But yeah, but the rat
Touche.
turning to the wolf, you might want to go online and look at one of those dream interpretation
I
things.
didn't even remember it until you said wolf, and I was like, oh my god, there was a wolf latched onto my hand this morning. Like,
How
I
big
was
was
just-
this rat? Was it?
It
like
was a small rat, but then
You
it,
thought you could take him with the hanger.
I was just trying to shoo it away, and then it like came at me, latched onto my hand, was biting my fingers, and then it was like grew into morphed into a wolf.
That's so weird because I had a dream last night that I like was choking on like hairballs in my mouth. Which like
For my wolf's hairballs.
Joking on her.
yeah.
All right, that we gotta Google.
Yeah,
That's some weird
we gotta
We
shit.
could get a dream doctor on the show.
We need that's
for a future thing. That would be wonderful,
all right.
Tracy.
Big wolf and rats.
And then hairball in human mouth.
Hairballs. Hairballs in mouth. All right. On that note, let's get into
Do we have time? I don't want.
what's the flavor.
do we have
WTF.
time?
We always have time. We can do whatever we want.
Make time, concierge.
We are having time. I'm very excited about these.
So we'll just make sure we get this right at the New Egypt market. Throw an axe, pet a wolf, and buy a book.
Damn
Yes,
right.
and see an ice sculpture and food trucks with some, I believe, unbelievable barbecues going to be there.
This is
so-
outdoors. This marketplace.
This is outdoors, but there's going to be like fire pits going though. That's why it's the fire and
I'm
ice.
so excited. I
Yeah.
kind of love this. I'm like just falling into the seasonal depression right now,
Yeah.
and like I need to keep myself busy with like fun things to do. So
This
it.
festival, I've been to the market, but not. Here he
There
comes.
it
Do you want that,
is.
or do you want? I brought
What
one.
hell
Oh,
do
you
you
brought two-
seek
oh,
to
I didn't know
unleash
that.
upon me, sir?
We can do whatever you want. I don't
Oh,
care.
okay. Oh, beer and cheese.
beer, cheese,
Beer,
pretzels.
cheese, pretzels.
Oh, okay. You want to say this for next week?
It doesn't. Well, what do you
I feel
got?
bad. I
Let's
feel
hear
like
it.
I
What do
should be
you got?
bringing you guys a snack.
But,
Okay.
all right, we're
All
gonna
right.
let you choose
All right, tell them what you
the
got.
what's the
Okay.
flavor.
All right, here we go.
What's the flavor?
These I got, they're called African-style potato chips. And they
They're
have
all different. So savory, spicy.
Who doesn't want
Spice.
African-style potato chips?
Barbecue chili.
barbecue chili.
Well, they don't look too
Sweet
wild. They look,
peanut.
I'm seeing like leaves.
All
and-
right, let's
what else?
do
What
these
else?
because Ruben has had these for a while,
Okay.
and
Oh, yes, I
keep
did.
Oh,
saying-
they're all
I
African
feel like
potato chips.
He has been.
I thought it was just the
He's
one
been wanting to
flavor.
bust these out.
No.
He's wanting
All
to
right.
bust these out for weeks, and like
So we got the
Yeah.
West
Like had holiday
African
stuff?
sweet peanut. Oh, that's gonna
Okay.
give me a headache.
Oh, okay.
North African savory spices,
Okay.
or the East African.
Are we open all of them? We're gonna.
We
try-
can.
No, let's.
Or you just
I
wanna
thought
do one?
you want to do one
Yeah.
and save them.
no, we got to do all. I feel like we got to do all three. I don't know. What do you
All
think? Do
You're
it.
gonna give us the East, the West, and the middle.
Do you
In the
wanna-
middle?
or do you
Where's
wanna
the
see it,
South?
or do you wanna see it?
Right?
Where's
So-
this South African delight?
There is a South Africa. I know it.
Where?
South African flavor.
What's this South African delight, and why Green Sahara? Is there not a
What
South
has
African
Jim Hurd done
potato
wrong
chip?
to you, sir?
I didn't like the way he looked at me.
What's wrong with? Did the wise owl not cut it for you?
All right, guys, come on, pick one. Let's
The
go.
Pringles man,
All
look
right,
at you
I'm
funny.
gonna do sweet peanut, West African sweet
Are you,
peanut.
is anyone allergic to peanuts?
I'm not.
No,
Jason,
but all right, let's do it.
you sure, Jason? You're not allergic to me?
No,
I,
I
um,
was born before the bitch acidness set.
Oh, okay, I know that.
I'm good. Yeah,
I'm just double checking.
I made the cut.
He's a
Generation
man.
X men.
Gen X, that's right, baby. I'm appalled that there's no South. Try our flavors: East, West,
this
and
guy-
North.
Look, I figure we put the East and West on hold and focus our attention on the savory spice.
All right, all
You
right.
know?
You're the
Okay.
guest. We're going.
All
We're
right,
going
let's
with the
pop it
savory
open.
spice.
Okay.
Pa-
The
pop
pleasure
open,
is
pass
yours,
napkin.
Jason. We're gonna go with and I'll show everybody the bag in a minute. I got
Thank
these
you.
At the grocery outlet.
Okay.
Oh, you were already ready.
Yeah.
I was ready. I thought we were
Is
going to do
ready.
all of them. So here, let me,
There you go. Now I'm
yeah,
gonna.
that's perfect.
Yep.
Ooh,
Now
this
we-
has a lot of spice on it.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Woo.
whoa.
It was.
Here.
Well, that's
You
yours
can
too,
share.
Ribbon.
You- all right.
Yeah, give some
We'll
to
share.
Ruben.
Go share.
Could you explain the game? While
All
we're-
right, ready?
Okay.
You just
Ready?
eat it, and then
No,
All
wait,
right,
can I see
pretty
the bag?
much
I want
with
to
the
smell
game.
it first. I need
Tracy
to like.
smells it. We look at the texture, and you give it from 0 to 10 on your flavor.
Smells delightful. Is there an
You had a 10
description?
last week for the drink.
Yeah.
It was
Both of
so
you, they both went
good.
immediate 10s. I
It
was like,
was-
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The drink was really good.
Chef's kiss. I'll tell you that.
espresso
All right.
martini of less than a 10.
Exactly.
Oh.
Even a terrible espresso martini is good. All right, North African savory spices. It smells fantastic.
It tastes like a chickpea curry.
Is it
type
spicy?
of-
Hello, curry.
you're not getting me fired up. Okay.
It almost makes me feel like Indian food.
Yeah. You know what? But you know, in that area, a lot of them use the same spices.
Well, yeah. So it says Morocco.
Morocco.
That's okay. That's probably better. I love Moroccan food.
And that which hemisphere is that?
This was the North Africa,
North Africa chips.
which makes
There's-
sense. The Egypt. It says Egypt, Morocco. The rich and bold taste gives you an experience of flavors from that region.
There's some like
These-
perfumey taste, and I'm like, ew, it tastes like soap. But then I kind of like it after
I
a
think
second.
it takes a minute
Yeah,
to
So
like
it does
it.
remind me of a good Moroccan meal.
that's interesting.
Let me,
That's
let me see. I want to show the people
Go
these
over.
chips on the camera.
like I feel like
Okay.
I taste
Here
perfume,
we
but
are.
then it changes. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this.
My older brother used to
African
take me to a
style.
Moroccan restaurant all the time.
Chips. These are
That's a
It's
South
like-
African.
experience. I'm
North-
sure that
North
was
African
something you'll
savory
always
spices.
remember.
Yeah.
It's
nice.
like the movie Saltburn. Have you seen that?
I
Oh
need
God,
to see the
we
movie
are not
Saltburn.
going to talk about that.
Don't say
We
nothing
do
about it. I
not
gotta
have
watch it.
time.
Okay, well, let's talk about
What
Saltburn
does
next
the
week.
chips have to do with
Hey,
it?
Don't you
I'm
want to know what I
still-
think
I'm
of the weird chip?
I'm still processing that movie, and I'm still processing the flavor of the
The chip
chip. I
became
don't
a
know what to
movie.
make of it. That's my point.
Do not go in there thinking this chip has anything to do with that movie because it does not.
It does not.
No, my point was I'm still processing, and I don't know what to make of it.
Listen, we can't even get started on.
Oh,
Saltburn.
it's
That
one
has
of
to be,
those.
All right, your other homework:
there-
watch Saltburn, and we will discuss next Wednesday.
Watch what I do to her here.
And then I
I
watched-
will watch Saltburn if you watch The Human Centipede.
Oh God,
Okay.
no.
Can I
Because
find
that
it?
was the feeling after watching that. It stayed with me a day or two. And I didn't.
That
And
was that-
my buddy Joe and I
I don't
agreed.
even know.
He was like, I dropped it. This was when you still had discs for Netflix because you couldn't stream the Centipede. He said I put it in the mailbox and it still stayed with me, Jay. He's like, it was kind of like,
Yeah, Saltburn's pretty disturbing, but the Human Centipede. Ugh.
you know the Centipede.
Yeah, I think I
Alright.
got it from
Wow.
Blockbuster.
You
one
like
year
your
or whatever.
horror then.
I do.
All right, I'll watch it. I'll give it a go.
All right.
All right.
So, what do you?
But we digress. Back to the chip.
I gauge chips based on like, could I eat a sandwich with this chip?
Okay, that's
Would,
good.
would I be like, is this okay? If I had a sandwich that I was very hungry and I needed chips to go with it, these would not disappoint.
Okay.
I would be okay with this chip
with a sandwich.
with a sandwich. Right? It would go fine together. Nice spices on it, and not too spicy, which I like spicy too. I'd say
Oh, yeah.
above medium spice, just above medium.
A touch
and,
above.
And I go
Some
six.
Sweet spice.
I'll go
versus-
6.
6.
Because it's just like, if you gave me some off-brand cola, I would say this is a sufficient cola. But, it's like, I like Pepsi, please. But,
Ew.
yeah, well,
Pepsi over Coke.
We're gonna
Well,
do the Pepsi challenge next week as well.
I like Pepsi. But again, if they don't have it and RC's there, I'm not going to buck. I'll be all right.
Wait, so
And
you
it's
pick
good.
RC over even actual Coca-Cola?
I might go RC over both of them.
I hope I can find RC, and we're gonna do the Pepsi challenge. We're gonna
Oh yeah.
line them
We're
all
gonna
up.
do the cola challenge. We're gonna
Why
All
do
right,
not?
I
Why
think I would
haven't
give
Coming up soon.
I don't know.
It's like
You wanna be-
challenge 1.
Talk about it.
Yes.
We'll let you know.
Season
when we do the
2.
cola
I would
challenge.
love
We'll
to
have
know. Yes.
Yes.
I think I would give these a solid 8. I thought they
Oh.
were pretty good.
Yeah.
An 8?
Yeah, an 8.
What did you
Huh.
give them?
A 6.
I said a 6.
Okay.
Above average.
I'm
Above
gonna go
average.
with Allie 8.
I don't know. Like I want more.
I gotta
Flavor.
ask you guys, what's a 10 then in the world of chip then? If we're
Yeah.
going 8 on these.
Well, you know what? For me, on these chips, right?
Okay.
It's like when you eat the first one, you're like, interesting, right?
Find
But
one with
then
a
you go
lot
to
of
the next
flavor,
one,
Trey.
And you feel the flavor, but then it kind of like dissipates after a while, which is actually not bad because I felt the flavor dissipate.
Not a
And
bad
it-
aftertaste.
Yeah, not
It's
bad.
a it's,
Okay,
a it's a
okay.
great flavor medley. Like I like the flavors are unique. I like them a lot. I just want more flavor on the chip.
You're missing something to your.
Yeah,
taste
like
bud.
I need more flavor on the chip.
Well,
It's-
you might get there with the sweet peanut or the barbecue.
yeah,
Okay.
that's time I was trying to look
Oh,
for
and
one
let everybody know too. These
that
chips
had a lot
here,
of
the
stuff.
South African is by Green Sahara.
I mean, these are good.
And-
They're not from South Africa.
But they're not from North Africa. I'm sorry.
apparently,
African style Sahara
apparently
chips.
this
It
brand
You
of
can eat
chips-
them
hot
with a good
spice.
sandwich.
It was like more like a sweeter spice to it than a hot spice.
I liked it. I'm a
Yeah.
very savory spice person in general.
You know
I
what
like the flavors.
I'm going to give you my top off the rack chip, and now that's what I'd say my comparative is. The Cape Cod chips.
Oh.
Love the Cape Cod
Love a
chips.
kettle
Go,
chip.
chip.
If I can find the purple bag New York deli chips.
Oh yeah, the deli
You
chips.
remember them?
They
What do
still
they
make
taste
them?
like?
Neon purple.
I think
You
they
see
still-
them here and there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Hard to come by. Hard to come by.
the
these
red
days.
bag of the New York delis is the jalapenos.
Oh, I like those. I like the jalapeno.
I love a
But
jalapeno
I'm mostly
chip.
kettle, so
Love a
you
kettle
know,
chip.
I usually stay
Yeah.
there.
But the Kettle brand, you know, like the Hare's Kettle brand chips or whatever,
Hers Kettle.
hers, whatever it is,
Oh,
has the jalapeno.
It's
and I
good.
used to love it, but I think they toned down the spice on it recently because now it says mild on it. And I used to love getting them. Like, they're so spicy. I love them. They're so good. But now they don't hit the same way that they used to. They just don't.
If you look on the back of the her bag, there's the man, right? And it says the whole story. You can go on a tour of the Hers
Oh, that's right.
potato chip
Let's
place.
Well,
go.
'cause that's
Yeah,
a
you
field
can-
trip. They're
you
in
can do that.
Pennsylvania, right?
And
Pennsylvania.
you could ask about this, and they might have some answers for
Because
you.
I know I've heard like on different like weird podcasts and stuff like that. I think it had to do with The Office. They had to like import the Hare's chips because it's only an East Coast thing.
Huh.
Because I think they're from Pennsylvania,
I believe so.
so they don't have them in Los Angeles. But to make it look like they were actually in Scranton, they had to get like import that brand of chips.
Oh,
them.
okay.
Oh really?
Yeah, because it's only on an East Coast thing.
Oh, so they don't ship it past a certain point, like Ohio. or
Apparently
something?
not.
Oh wow.
Apparently you can't get it in California.
Huh.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
What was the best recap of like the best
Okay,
snack
so
we have for flavor of the week?
6. We're just waiting on yours. I know we digress.
I'll give it a 7.
A 7. Okay.
6,
so
7.
Meanwhile, I keep eating them.
So-
I can't stop.
So-
Like, I just want
Yeah,
more
six,
flavor.
Well, that's
Well,
a good.
I want
Because
more
a 6,
flavor.
7.
But if you
and
had
I
a
are
sandwich,
8.
it'd be
Yeah.
good. To
Where's
balance
the
it all
beef?
out. If
Oh,
you
yeah,
had
right.
if you had
Seven.
your sandwich, it
So
would
you
be
get
adequate.
7.5.
You don't
Okay.
want your chips overpowering
So-
your sandwich too. Sometimes, so that's
True.
why that's good for the
So we'll
sandwich.
give the total of this order a 7 for the North African style
Delightful. Can't wait.
chips.
Savory spices.
Savory spices.
So,
Dun, dun, dun.
Next week we're gonna do East or West.
East or West?
I feel like he really just does not want the peanut ones. So we're going with barbecue chili.
All right, you got me there, and I'll tell you why. I love
Fess up.
the Five Guys burgers and fries,
Oh, yeah.
and
their French fries.
it's I don't have any allergies, and them fries are so freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something with me that I get a weird headache after.
Oh,
But I love peanuts. I eat trail mix and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
that's interesting.
So maybe I am a little scared of the strange peanut
Well,
of the potato chip.
We're not gonna make you eat it then. We don't
We'll
do-
do- we'll
She
get a
called
headache.
me out on the chip. I did.
all I'm saying is you don't want.
That's the gate of journalism. That's what we
asked me
do
to
here.
pick one.
We ask the hard questions. Don't you forget it.
Don't come on the show if
Well,
you don't.
I'm thinking, why don't you want the peanut? I tell myself, I'm like, you think you're gonna have
No, and I didn't mean it to call you out. I was
I'm
like,
joking,
let's
Allie.
not do
I'm
the
only
peanuts. He
messing.
really doesn't want the peanut.
You know.
We just keep it real.
We can't
on
force
WTF.
the peanuts down.
Yeah,
I
we're not going
understand.
to force you.
What was the thing Ruben gave me the last time? You had the Twix from like Korea.
Yeah.
Those were good.
They were
Yeah.
really good. I don't
What
remember
was
what
the
else
other
we
thing
had.
that made me make a face that everyone I know was cracking up about the
We're
face
gonna
I
have
made?
to go back
He
and
was
watch
like, that
the
was
tape.
great
That
seeing
one.
you.
We've had some weird
There's
stuff on
some-
there.
yeah.
Yeah, we tried like 4 or 5, right? Or 5 or 6 rather of those candies. I think
Get
we did
these
the
away
Twix.
from me. Why do I get keep eating them?
I think you better go eat like Allie.
Flavor, like it's such a unique flavor. Like
Yeah.
I've never,
Can I see the bag again?
I've never
Yeah.
like tasted
Tracy's
spices
over
like
there
that.
like, well, you
Never
know,
tasted
it's like a
spices like that.
conversational chip.
I know. Good choice, Rube. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yes, thank you,
Oh,
Ruben.
awesome. Yes, you're welcome. Definitely.
All right,
And,
well-
you know, eventually me and Tracy, I know we have to go to the
We got to
H-Mart.
take our field trip to H Mart. We're
Yep,
gonna
yep.
get some new
H-Mart.
snacks for
Get some
that.
new snacks,
So
get some, you know, strange snacks and stuff like that. And you'd be surprised, like, how many different snacks and drinks and sodas. There's just so many. I know Tracy missed the last one. We did the root beer challenge.
oh yeah, I wasn't
Oh,
here.
you
for the
weren't
root
here
beer
for that.
challenge,
That's
but
right.
It's
Yeah.
good. I don't like root beer, so
Oh,
yeah.
you missed a
It
good
all
one.
worked
Yeah,
out.
It worked out anyway. Yeah. So we're gonna.
But
eventually
I'm excited
Yeah.
though. We do need to do the Pepsi challenge because I could definitely pick Coke out of there.
100.
Oh, sure.
I can definitely tell you which one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I could even tell you which one's Pepsi too.
Could we go- could we-
I'm
now-
looking at doing it around February because I
Could-
got to get all this stuff.
Could we take it a step further and get? Now we always say the Mexican Coke is the
Oh, it's always
authentic
better,
soda
yeah.
like that we used to have that we would remember.
Yeah,
I'd like to throw that in the mix.
Yeah,
with
I-
a-
we're gonna
we
throw,
can find
I think
it,
we're gonna
we'll
get
throw
like
it in.
8 or 10 different colas, and we're gonna mix some international and American. We're
Cool.
gonna mix them in.
We do have one Coca-Cola
Yeah, I still left from Korea.
in the control. Oh, the Korean Coca-Cola. Yeah.
the Korean
So.
Coke-
the
yeah.
Kim
So what we
Jong
should do
Young
is like,
freaking
there's
Coca-Cola.
probably gonna be a lot of prep for that.
Yeah. He'd be like, "Who stole my cola?"
Oh my goodness.
I know.
On that note, we gotta sign off. We gotta get the hell out of here. Let's wrap this up.
Good day.
Wrap it up.
Good day, sir. We'll be back next week. Season 2, we're going to head into like, share, comment, all the shit, just do all the things.
All of
Help
them.
the algorithm. And we'll be back next week, kicking off season 2 of WTF.
Birthday episode.
Yep, birthday episode.
Okay.
Woo!
Yeah, there you have
Yes.
it. All right, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thanks for the intro, the live intro was amazing.
Wonderful.
The
And,
least I could do.
Hope we can get it on every week now from there.
Yes. I'll do
Thank
it
you,
again
sir.
next week
All
for the
right.
for the
Well, yeah, you'll be
celebration
back next
episode.
Bye,
week.
guys.
All right. Thank
Have
you
a great week.
and good night.
Thank you and good night.